Developing now on Eyewitness News, new search warrants in a Charlotte family's murder case. We're breaking down a timeline of events and what's next for the suspect in custody.
Well, it's frigid out there this morning. Layer up, heading out the door, tracking when the warmer temperatures are coming back our way.
A crowd of South Charlotte neighbors were bussed to city council chambers. They want to stop plans for more apartments in their neighborhood.
20,000 people have signed up against it.
How the developer is responding and what they could do regardless of those neighbors' concerns. Plus,
a video you'll only see here on Channel 9, a gas station security guard shooting at a car with a woman inside. Hear what that woman says led up to the terrifying moment. Eyewitness News at 4:30 a.m. starts right now with breaking news. And while you were sleeping, Charlotte Fire put out a fire. Take a look here at these flames at North Charlotte apartment complex this morning. Now, this happened around 1 a.m. near the intersection of North Church Street and West 28th Street. Of NODA and Charlotte Fire says it took 30 firefighters about 35 minutes to control this fire. Thankfully, no one was hurt. And this morning, we're asking if anyone was displaced and what caused this fire. And we'll keep you updated on our free WSOC TV News app. All right, busy start this morning. Thanks for waking up with us on this Tuesday morning. I'm Damani Lewis.
And I'm Denise Broom. It is 4:31 and we're getting you ready for your day. It's already a colder one than this time yesterday.
I know. So Traffic Tonight, Mark Taylor is monitoring the morning drive. But first, let's get a good look at that frosty forecast with meteorologist Keith Monday. Good morning, Keith.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, it is frigid out there this morning as our temperatures are falling back well in the 30s and 20s, even as close as Lincoln this morning, down to 29, low 20s in the mountains. There's still a decent breeze out there in the high country. Winds are gusting close to 30 at times, and there's a bit of a breeze in the metro, and it's doing one of two things. It's not allowing us to drop right down to that freezing point just yet. We'll see if that happens when these numbers calm as the morning goes on. But it's also providing a little bit of a wind chill here in the metro, so it feels like 30, even though we're above freezing with the air temperature. It feels below, and look at this, single-digit readings of the wind chill up across the high country. It is really cold this morning. We'll bounce back above freezing by 9 o'clock. We'll only make it to around 60 today. That breeze is still going to come back at times like it did yesterday, and it's going to feel cooler as our temperatures drop about 2 to 3 degrees from yesterday afternoon. But we will bounce back. Coming up, we'll show you the timeline of a much warmer stretch this week before things could go downhill again by the end of it. But now, let's get you out on the roads. Thankfully, it is dry this morning. Here's Traffic 29's Mark Taylor.
Yeah, and the only issue we've got this morning is going to be some construction heading through Uptown. Let's take a look at 77 near the Brookshire Freeway. Excuse me, you see the barrels that are out here, and they're in the right lanes right now. Traffic can get through in the left lane just fine. There's not a big delay, but they don't want you getting onto the interstate, so they've closed the Brookshire Freeway inner loop to 77 north, so that ramp is blocked again this morning. Now, the detour that's in place, there's several ways you could do it, but the detour that is in place is going to take you on the Brookshire Freeway inner loop. You get off at Graham, you take the outer loop, you go 77 north. Not a big deal. If you're heading in on Independence Boulevard this morning, there's no construction there overnight as we look at the traffic flows in from Matthews, approaching the John Belk and Brookshire. Yeah, those lanes are open, so no problems getting into Uptown using Independence Boulevard. And outside of that, for the interstates, all in the green this morning as you make your way in. Damani?
All right, Mark, thank you. Well, developing this morning, Channel 9 is looking through new search warrants in the case of this family found dead at a Northeast Charlotte apartment complex over the weekend. CMPD says the family of 22-year-old Markayla Johnson and her 2 young children reported them missing earlier this month. Now we're learning Johnson's boyfriend, 35-year-old Benjamin Taylor, was arrested in California Saturday. He appeared in court yesterday. Johnson and her kids started visiting Taylor in Charlotte from her home in Myrtle Beach last fall. In early November, they were picked up by family and went back to Myrtle Beach, but that was only temporary. Channel 9's Evan Donovan walks us through a timeline.
Warrants state that in late January of this year, Markayla left Myrtle Beach again to go to Charlotte with both children. After not hearing from her other than text messages for weeks, family members reported those victims missing to CMPD on March 3rd. These new warrants state Markayla's phone was turned off in the area of this apartment complex that day and hasn't been back on since. 2 days later, on March 5th, family went back to the Orchard Trace apartments to try to find Markayla and the kids, but got no answer. On March 6th, someone who works at Orchard Trace Apartments did a wellness check, but didn't see anyone in the apartment nor any items to care for a child or baby, like food, diapers, or toys. And they checked the 2011 silver Chevy Camaro belonging to the same person that leased the apartment and found no car seats. Police have not said if that person is the same boyfriend who has been charged. Then on March 15th, all 3 victims were found dead at the apartment complex. The following day, police charged 34-year-old Benjamin Taylor with all 3 of their murders.
And that was Evan Donovan reporting, and we're working right now to learn what happened during Taylor's court appearance in California, and we're asking if he will fight extradition back to Charlotte. And you can stay updated on this story right on our free WSOC TV News app.
We have new details in 2 deadly weekend shootings. CMPD now says a man shot and killed a woman outside the North Charlotte Cookout restaurant where they both worked. Malik Crosby is charged with first-degree murder. Police say he shot Jaslyn Horn early Sunday outside the cookout off Sunset Road. She died at the scene, and police have not said what led up to that shooting. We also now know Darian Morrison died when someone shot him near a Family Dollar on Bradford Drive. That's in the Thomasboro neighborhood. CMPD says they found Morrison dead at the scene, and so far, police haven't shared any information about a suspect.
Well, right now, legal efforts are underway to have evidence seized during a search of a Hickory home thrown out. Police say they found weapons, ammo, and drugs while investigating a shooting last year. Attorneys for the suspect, Javariel Robinson, claim police made a false statement to get the search warrant. Relatives say Robinson has been in jail since his arrest last year. They say they don't believe the search was done properly.
Let him out. Let him out. Let that man come home to his kids. They miss him.
Well, police sent Channel 9 a statement saying, in part because that case was turned over to federal courts, they couldn't respond to questions. And we did get a copy of the police report saying the shooting was accidental.
Dozens of people filled Charlotte City Council chambers Monday to fight a proposed development. And part of their fight is to protect eagles nesting near that development site. Channel 9's government reporter Joe Bruno was at the government center last night, and he says even if those neighbors win their fight, some council members think it might not be good news.
We rarely see such organized opposition to a rezoning project like this, but neighbors say thousands of people are opposed to the proposed apartment and townhome community in South Charlotte. The city councilman who represents this area says he agrees with a lot of what they're saying, but he's warning them that something could still happen at the site.
They came in buses, donned green shirts, and one even wore a hat with an eagle on it, demanding Charlotte City Council tell the developer to fly away.
20,000 people have signed up against this petition.
RK Investments is proposing a 640-unit apartment and townhome project between Elm Lane and Ray Road in South Charlotte. That's down from the original 1,100 units, but still way more than what residents think the area can handle.
How about visiting the popular Trader Joe's during the day?
4,000 new cars. What's that all about? We're so crowded right now.
Another concern are these eagles. Their nest is fewer than 1,000 feet away from the development. The 2 majestic birds, Piper and Glenn, just had babies. The developer claims they will be fine.
That the development poses little risk to the eagles. So that's the communication we received.
Councilman Ed Driggs represents the area. As it stands right now, he's against the project. But he warned neighbors that even if it is voted down, the developer can still build 400 single-family homes or duplexes and triplexes by right.
I wish there was a way to preserve this as the habitat it is.
He says the county asked the property owner if they could buy the land to preserve it as a park or a nature area, but was told no. Driggs and all Charlotte City Council members appear skeptical of the project, but they don't want residents to end up with something worse.
I just don't want us to end up having said no to this and then find that something nasty happened.
When we're in a situation where the by right development is scarier than the rezoning, I think that tells us we've got a policy gap.
Neighbors are worried about this community's impact on infrastructure, traffic, and schools, but the developer thinks it will fit in with the area. Councilman Ed Driggs says the soonest this project will receive a vote is in May. Reporting outside the Government Center, Joe Bruno, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
Well, right now you can buy your ticket for Charlotte Wine and Food Week. Proceeds for the April event go towards Charlotte area charities like A Child's Place and Gen 1. There are special wine dinners at restaurants around Charlotte, plus a gala and live auction, grand tasting event, and rosé brunch. And if you'd like to attend, we do have a link to buy tickets on our free WSOC TV news app and website. Just look under latest links.
Make sure you got the layers heading out the door this morning. It is a cold start to the day today, but tracking the warm up, which will be back soon as we head throughout the rest of this week.
Only on 9, a woman is learning how to walk again. She says the security guard shot her in her car.
You shot me for no reason.
My baby could have died. He could have killed my baby.
In about 3 minutes, you'll see that dramatic video, plus what she says started this violent situation.